it'll be less than a month, before they're preaching.
No.
Now everybody's mad at me over it. It won't be long before they're preaching. It won't be long before you're ordaining them. It won't be long before you're putting collars on them and titles on them. And they bet no saved in that bottle of water there.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one little thing. When you leave one little area, you've broken everything. Haven't you?
Right.
You can't say, well, it's okay. So, but they let the lights go out. They closed the door of the tabernacle. They closed the church, Ellery. His daddy said, look, I got some incense that I want to burn to Balaam. I want to burn to Shechereth. There's several other gods. I mean, everybody else is doing it. This is what Hezekiah's daddy, this is his mindset. Everybody else has 5 and 6 gods. Why should I be different? And so they did all that stuff and they closed the church up. But they went to their own church, the church of Diana and them, didn't they?
Yeah.
They closed up the church of the house of God. Let the lights go out, right?
Yeah.
And then it says in verse 8, well, the wrath of the Lord was upon Judah and Jerusalem, and he had delivered them to trouble. Oh, so bad. I don't know about you, but I want to be delivered, but I don't want to be delivered into trouble. I want to be delivered out of trouble. Because trouble is easy it'll find you. You don't have to look for it. And so the fathers did that which was wrong. His daddy and them did that which was wrong in the sight of the Lord. But let me show you what Hezekiah began to do. He began to reinstitute the sacrifices and the burnt offerings again. And he told, remember what he first told the Levites? They repaired the door in the house of the Lord. The door was hanging off his hinges at the church.
Jesus.
What's the first thing that's the first thing they did. They repaired the door. The door was hanging off the hinges. And then verse 3, in the first year of his reign, in the first month, he opened the doors of the house of the Lord and repaired them. They were hanging off like a haunted house. The house of God. But he called the Levites and he told them to repair. Sanctify yourself first, and then we're going to get all the filth and we're going to repair the doors, and we're going to light the lamps, and we're going to begin sacrifices again and burnt offerings to the Lord our God. And we're going to give, that's what's his name? Yeah, Wayne. And so, he cleaned up the mess. Hezekiah, that's what he was doing, wasn't he? Yeah, he cleaned it up. And look down in verse 20. Because step by step, we can see Hezekiah cleaning up the disarray that his daddy and his daddy's cohorts had did. Now look at this, because they stopped having sacrifices, right? And burnt offerings. Verse 20. Then Hezekiah the king rose early and gathered the rulers of the city and went up to the house of the Lord. You notice all the action is centered around the house of the Lord.
Yeah.
He doesn't want the house of the Lord to be in disarray, in disorder. The doors hanging off. They then went up to the lamps of the Lord and blew the lamps out. Come on now. So they had stopped doing everything. Hezekiah gathered up the rulers of the city and went up to the house of the Lord, and they brought 7 bullocks, 7 rams, and 7 lambs, and 7 goats. 7 is the number of completion.
Yes.
We're going to complete this work. Everything that they have done away with, we're going to reinstitute. Listen to this. And 7 goats for a sin offering for the kingdom. The kingdom was in sin.
Yeah.
He was very honest, wasn't he?
Amen.
He didn't say they're in sin. He said the whole kingdom. He was including himself because he's in the kingdom. Right?
Yeah.
Listen to this. And for the sanctuary and for Judah. And he commanded the priests, the sons of Aaron, to offer them on the altar of the Lord. So they reinstituted the sacrifices and the burnt offerings. Now, I want you to see something that happens as a result of sanctifying yourself, cleaning up the house of the Lord, and doing that which was right in the sight of God. Okay, look at 2 Chronicles 30. Because they stopped doing everything.